The office party was a glittering chaos of clinking glasses, pulsing music, and forced corporate cheer held in a swanky rooftop lounge overlooking the city's neon sprawl. I'm Mike, a freelance graphic designer with a knack for logos, and a dislike for these overblown events. But I was there for my wife, Laura, a project manager at a tech firm who'd been riding high after landing a major client. Our 6-year marriage had weathered its storms. Her late nights, my erratic freelance gigs, but would always come through, or so I thought. That night though, the air felt charged with something I couldn't name. And when I saw Laura with her colleague Ethan, my world tilted off its axis. I was nursing a beer by the bar, half listening to a co-worker drone about blockchain when I spotted Laura in a dimly lit corner near the balcony. She was with Ethan, the team's slick sales lead, all charm and tailored suits. They were close. Too close. Her hand on his chest, his lips brushing hers in a kiss that wasn't quick or accidental. My heart slammed against my ribs, the beer bottle nearly slipping from my hand. I wanted to believe it was a trick of the light, but their silhouettes were unmistakable. Before I could move, Ethan's hand slid down, and in a brazen move, he lifted her skirt just enough to flash her thigh to the crowd. Gasps rippled through the room, and Laura froze, her face a mix of shock and shame as she pushed him away. The lounge seemed to shrink, eyes darting between me, Laura, and Ethan's smug grin. I strode over, my pulse roaring, ignoring the whispers. "Laura," I said, my voice low, but sharp enough to cut through the music. She turned, her eyes wide, mascara smudged. "Mike," she started, but I held up a hand. "Not here." Ethan, still smirking, stepped forward like he owned the place. "Relax, man. It's just a party. Things get wild." His nonchalance lit a fire in me. "Wild?" I snapped, stepping into his space. "You touch my wife like that again, and you'll regret it." The crowd parted, tension crackling like static. Laura grabbed my arm, pleading, "Let's go." We stepped into the hallway. The party's noise muffled behind us. Laura's voice shook as she tried to explain. "It was a mistake, Mike. We were drinking and it just happened." Her words felt like sandpaper. "A kiss doesn't just happen," I said. "And him lifting your skirt in front of everyone. What the hell, Laura?" She cried, swearing. It was a moment of weakness that Ethan had been pushing boundaries for weeks. She'd been stressed, she said, caught up in the client win, and his attention felt like an escape. I listened, but the image of his hand on her skirt, the crowd's gasps, burned in my mind. "You let him," I said, my voice breaking in front of everyone. I didn't go back to the party. I drove home, Laura trailing in her car, the silence between us louder than the city's hum. At our apartment, she begged for forgiveness, offering her phone, promising to cut Ethan off. But it wasn't just the kiss or the skirt. It was the public humiliation, the way she'd let him cross a line in a room full of her colleagues. I slept on the couch, her sobs echoing from our bedroom. The next day, I found out through a co-worker's text that Ethan had been escorted out after the incident, his joke not landing well with the higher-ups. Laura went to HR, requesting a transfer to another team, her face raw with regret. We started counseling a week later, a grueling hour each session where we dug into the cracks we'd ignored. Her pressure to perform at work, my tendency to retreat into my designs. She admitted Ethan's charm had filled a void, a fleeting thrill she hadn't meant to chase. I admitted I'd missed her signals, too wrapped up in deadlines. But trust was a casualty. And every time I closed my eyes, I saw that moment. Her lips on his hand on her skirt, the crowd's eyes on us. Our friends heard whispers of the drama, but didn't know the full story. We kept it private, a wound too raw to share. The office buzzed with gossip for weeks. Ethan was demoted, then left the company. His reputation as a hotshot salesman tarnished. Laura threw herself into work, avoiding social events, trying to prove she was still the professional she'd been. But at home, our condo felt like a stage. Our old routines of movie nights and takeout now stiff, rehearsed. I caught her staring at me sometimes, like she was waiting for the old Mike to come back. The one who'd laugh off her quirks. But that Mike was buried under the weight of what I'd seen. We're still trying, tethered by counseling and a stubborn love that hasn't died. Laura's changed, more open, more present. But the memory of that night is a ghost in our marriage. I wonder if I'll ever unsee it. If I can trust her not to let someone else cross that line again. The kids we planned for, the future we sketched, it's all on pause. A question mark where certainty used to be. Ethan's stunt was a power play. But Laura's role in it cut deeper. She didn't just betray me. She let it happen where everyone could see. Counseling's teaching us to talk, to face the hurt, but it's a slow climb. Our apartment's still home, but it's quieter, the laughter forced. I'm fighting for us, but some images don't fade. Her lips, his hand, the crowd. Laura's remorse is real, but so is my pain. We're navigating a new normal. One where love and trust don't come easy. That night at the party didn't just break a moment. It broke something in us, and we're still picking up the pieces.